Hello, my name is Jasmine. Welcome to Fuji Electric Malaysia, or FEM. Today I shall take you through the EHS, Environment Health and Safety Briefing. Together, we shall see the key aspects related to EHS in FEM, which consists of an introduction to EHS, the policy related to environment and occupational safety and health, the environmental, health and safety management system, the environmental aspects and their impact, the common environmental issues, not forgotten the hazards and risks, and the common OSH hazards that we might face in FEM. We will also touch upon what is an EHS incident, commuting safety that we should follow, our emergency preparedness and response, and finally, how to communicate the incidents. Upon completion of this video briefing, we expect you to 1. Understand the EHS management system and its requirements. 2. Understand all our roles as employees towards the EHS management system. 3. Be aware of the programs or practices which are related to EHS management system here at FEM. And finally, be able to comply with the EHS related rules and regulations. Now, let's start with what is EHS, environmental health and safety, and the relationship with OHS, occupational health and safety. EHS implements all practical aspects of protecting the environment and maintaining health and safety at occupation. In simple terms, EHS covers what organizations must do to make sure that their activities do not cause harm to anyone or towards the environment. Occupational health and safety, or OHS, which is also referred to as Occupational Safety and Health, is a field concerned with the safety, health, and welfare of the people who are engaged in the work environment. OSH focuses on the people, materials, machines, methods used for production and the environment where we work and ensures the health and safety of all of us. With EHS and OSH, we create a safer and more sustainable organization which cares for its environment surrounding and safeguards its employees. In FEM, we have established two policies related to EHS. We have the environmental policy and the occupational safety and health policy. What is policy? Policy is the direction set by FEM to lead the EHS system. A policy shall consist of scope, objective, legal compliance, and implementation. Let us look in more details about the two policies. What is environmental policy? It is a policy created to protect the environment through continuous improvement and effective energy management. We are implementing the policy through the Environmental Management Program, or EMP. EMP is an environmental management system program developed by Fuji Electric Malaysia, which aims on continual improvement. It is available for employees on the company intranet as well as various places in the premises. The policy is also available to the public on request. On the other hand, what is Occupational Safety and Health Policy? This policy is there to prevent and protect all employees from occupational injuries and ill health. It is implemented by complying to OHS guidelines and regulations and by continuously improving our systems and processes through training, communication, teamwork, and empowerment. This policy is available only for employees on the company intranet as well as various places in the premises. Now that we have understood about the policies, let me introduce you to the EHS management system. A management system, as you would know, is a set of policies, processes, and procedures used by an organization to achieve its objectives. These objectives can relate to several different topics, including product or service quality, operational efficiency, as well as environmental performance, health and safety in the workplace. The EHS management system comprises of two management systems, which are the Environmental Management System, referred to as ISO 14001, and Occupational Health and Safety Management Systems, referred to as ISO 45001. The objective of the environmental management system is to improve the organization's environmental performance by reducing the environmental impacts from its operation. Meanwhile, the objective of the Occupational Health and Safety Management Systems is to improve the and safety management system performance by providing safe and healthy workplaces as well as prevent work-related injury and ill health. There are several benefits of implementing the EHS management system. It improves the work environment, demonstrates commitment to the protection of employees, property and organization plant, enhances relationship with the community, regulators, and stakeholders, increase efficiency and reduce accident and production time loss, promotes good corporate citizenship and EHS responsibility, and finally, improves company reputation. Just like any other management system, the EHS management system at FEM has been established and further certified by the international recognized certification body. It includes a zero occupational accident objective and increase energy saving by save energy consumption. The EHS management system also includes the legal compliance, which comprises of the general duties of the employee at work, such as taking reasonable care for the safety and health of himself and others, who may be affected by his acts or practice at work. In addition, personal protective equipment usage is also important to prevent risks to the employee's safety and health, and to comply with any compliance of OSH instituted by his employer. For example, there are certain legal guidelines which an organization must adhere to. For example, Safety and Health Act 1994 and some guidelines which are optional, such as Responsible Business Alliance, RBA Code of Conduct. To understand how our organization relates to the environment, we must understand our environmental aspect and impact. So, what are environmental aspects and impacts? An environmental aspect is organization's activities, products or services that may impact, or does impact the environment. An environmental impact is a result from environmental aspect. In simple terms, an aspect is a cause or reason, and an impact is an effect or result towards the environment. For example, for production operation, air emission and water discharge are produced. This is the example of the aspect. If the air is emitted to the atmosphere and the water discharge is flown into the drainage system, they will bring effect or impact towards the environment, and air and water pollution occurred. This is the impact occurred resulting from the action cause. To understand the environmental impact, a risk assessment called EASY is conducted, which the environmental aspect and significant impact being implemented. It is developed into two categories. The EASY list refers to negative impact activities that will cause harms to environment, while the EASY positive refers to positive impact activities that will benefit the environment. At FEM, these EASY lists are available in the internet on the Online Document Control System Procedures Register for review by the employees. There are 4 types of environmental issues most organizations have. These are waste management, industrial effluent, air emissions, and carbon footprint. At FEM, waste management is one of our most common environmental issues. Industrial waste can be divided into scheduled waste (SW) and general waste. Scheduled waste (SW) is any wastes that contain hazardous characteristics and have the potential to adversely affect the public health and environment. Examples of scheduled waste (SW) in FEM are contaminated wiper, gloves, filter with oil, grease, or chemical, electrical and electronic waste, and contaminated empty drum, container, or bottles. When dealing with scheduled waste (SW), we must be careful with the waste segregation, handling, storage, and disposal method in order to meet the related compliance obligations. Some commonly mishandling found are chemical bottles mixed with general waste, drinking can in scheduled waste bin, improper labeling, not using trays for spillage control, poor waste arrangement, accumulation of waste, or the use of wrong disposable bins. General wastes in FEM can be segregated into recyclable and non-recyclable waste. Examples of recyclable waste or scraps are carton boxes, wooden boxes, plastic, used paper, scrap metal or machines, and scrap aluminum. Non-recyclable waste includes used filter, used face mask or wiper, and polystyrene. Now, let us look at hazards and risks at FEM. A hazard is something that can cause harm, injury, and ill health. Some of the examples include the exposure to hazardous chemical and the moving parts in a machine. A risk is the chance, any high or low hazard, that will actually cause harm and how severe the harm is. Risk being described as being high, medium or low and commonly linked with the term effect. For instance, a person could be in the risk of having a disease or illness and hand or body injury. Hazard identification, risk assessment and determining control, also known as HIRAC, is a documented information that lists out all the potential hazards, the related risk and opportunities, and control measures for each work area. Potential hazards for work activities or process are firstly being identified, followed by the risk assessment, which is conducted together to identify room of opportunities for improvement. These risks are then minimized through the determined new control measures. At FEM, the HIRAC is available in the Internet Online Document Control System under the EHS Management System Procedures Register. The OSH hazards in FEM can be categorized as follows: chemical hazards, machine hazards, electrical hazards, ergonomics hazards. Next, move forward to hazards and safety precautions at general area and safety requirements for pregnant women and nursing employees in FEM. Now let's look into each one of these hazards. Chemical hazards can be classified to three main groups, which are physical hazards, health hazards, and environmental hazards. Example of physical hazards are explosives, flammable liquids, oxidizing liquids, compressed gases, and corrosive to metals. While health hazards can be further classified to acute toxicity, skin corrosion, skin irritation, and aspirational hazard. As for the environmental hazard, it is specific for substances which are hazardous to the aquatic environment. To work safely with chemicals, we must understand the hazards of the chemicals. There are two sources of chemical information: the Safety Data Sheet or SDS and the label on the chemical container. The SDS is a document that provides comprehensive safety information of the chemical and can be considered as the primary source of chemical safety information. It is available at FEM Intranet System. The label on each chemical container will have the basic safety information for the chemical. As mentioned earlier, to work with the chemicals, one must understand the chemical hazards by reading the chemical label before using the chemical, know how to retrieve the SDS, ensure that they have been briefed by superior and wear the required personal protective equipment or PPE. As storage is equally important to control chemical hazards, one must keep the chemical in the original container or relabel the container if the chemicals transferred into smaller container and keep the chemical in the designated cabinet or storage area. In case of an accident, one must also be aware of the emergency response by knowing the location of the nearest emergency eye wash, shower, first aid box and chemical spill kit, as well as the location of the nearest antidote for hydrofluoric acid which is used in wafer production. Machine hazards arise from the hazardous part of a machine, such as the moving parts. Other hazards from the machines are radiation and electrical parts. To control machine hazards, one must not operate any machine before being trained and qualified. Be aware of all the hazardous parts of the machine like the moving parts and the radiation source. Never dismantle or bypass any safety device such as the light sensor and door sensor, and never remove the protection guard. If a machine is not fit or safe for use, you must report it immediately to your supervisor. Electrical hazards often happen due to damaged equipment and power tools, loose or exposed electrical cables, using electrical equipment near water or with wet hands, or using an overloaded socket. To control electrical hazards, one must ensure electrical tools are in good condition, including the power cables and cord, Keep floors and work surfaces dry and never overload power socket. You should also apply lockout-tagout (LOTO) during maintenance to prevent accidental electrical shock. Physical ergonomics is defined as the response of human body to physical and physiological work demands. Ergonomic hazards are physical factors in the environment that may cause musculoskeletal injuries. To avoid such hazards, you must avoid forceful exertions like lifting, carrying, pulling, or pushing a heavy object. You must use material handling tools provided by company, for example, trolley, pallet jack, etc. Being aware of your awkward body posture during working can also prevent accidents. In case you have any ergonomics concern, you must report it to your superior, industrial nurse, or EHS team members. Simply speaking, hazards also exist in general areas such as office, cafeteria, and toilet. Example of these hazards are tripping or slipping on wet floor, fall at staircase, or getting sick with an infectious disease. These can be prevented by practicing good housekeeping and watching out for any hazards such as slippery or wet floor signs and tripping hazards. You must never look at your phone while walking or climbing stairs and hold the handrail when using staircase. It is important to practice good personal hygiene to avoid the spread of infectious diseases. At FEM, we care for all our employees and want to protect everyone. Special procedures have been established for women who are pregnant or new mothers to protect the employees as well as the fetus or child. These requirements are applicable to women whose pregnancy has been confirmed by doctor or are breastfeeding after delivery. One must inform about their requirements to their immediate superior and FEM nurse. A risk assessment is then conducted by the superior and acknowledged by the employee. If required, superior, HR, and EHS can develop an alternative work plan. You may refer to HR policy, HRP 006, Clause 6 for details. Now that we have understood the common hazards, let us talk about EHS incident. An EHS incident can be divided to two types, a safety incident or an environment incident. A safety incident can be a near-miss, dangerous occurrence, injury case, or in the worst case a fatality, while an environment incident may cause harm to the environment such as pollution. In both the incidences, you are required to immediately report to your superior. In case you observe a scenario which might cause a safety or environment incident, you are required to help in preventing it by reporting any unsafe condition at work area to your supervisor. You have the right to remove yourself from situations that can create a serious danger to your life or health. We are also committed towards preventing road accidents and ensuring that all our workers are safe wherever they go. If you are commuting by a motorcycle, there are a few basic road safety rules that you must practice. These include wearing a light reflecting vest during night time, use signal when needed, controlling your speed, make yourself seen by avoiding blind spots, and wearing a helmet. If you are commuting by car, please ensure that you wear a seatbelt. Do not use mobile phone during driving. Observe speed limits. Keep a safe distance between the other cars. Stay awake during driving by talking to a co-passenger or take a break if you feel sleepy, and always obey traffic rules, signs, and signals. By following these rules of road safety, we can ensure safe commuting for ourselves and ensure other road users are safe. Regardless of all the preventions and precautions, sometimes accidents can still happen. Our emergency preparedness and response plan are designed for this. It is so that we are prepared for any incident which have a high possibility to occur, like a major chemical spill, fire, gas or fumes discharge, or power interruption in clean room for more than 30 minutes, which can lead to no ventilation. In case you notice a chemical spill, you are required to respond to it by immediately barricading it. In case the spill is more than 5 liters, please call the emergency response team on 5111. You must also make sure to immediately use the emergency shower if you or any of your coworkers have been exposed to the chemical and wash it off. Spill kits are provided in designated areas which must be used by the emergency response team or anyone who is responsible to contain the spill. The spill kits contain all the necessary equipment, including personal protective equipment, which must be used to contain the spill. Once the spill is contained, the waste must be disposed off in the scheduled waste bins provided. In case of any emergency situation, you must call the extension 5111 and inform the security personnel in the premises. The security will then inform the emergency response team commander, who will investigate the emergency and, if required, make an announcement. You are required to strictly follow the instructions given and, if required, evacuate the workplace through the nearest exit. Details of response on emergency can be referred in Online Document Control System under KRE 011. In the event of an evacuation announcement through the PA system, all persons are required to exit through the nearest exit door. The production supervisor, who takes the responsibility of the evacuation leader, will call everybody to exit. Note that production staff are not required to take off their jumpsuit. Once you exit your workplace, you are required to assemble at designated evacuation assembly point. A roll call will be conducted to determine any missing persons. Once the roll call is done, you are required to report to the ERT commander, who will give you further instructions. There are designated external muster points which must be used when there are emergencies inside the building, such as fire, gas leaking, and others. Please note the external muster points here. The external muster points for M1, M2, and S1 plant are located at the parking area beside the security guard post 2, while the external muster point for SC1 is located at the parking area adjacent to Semicon building. You are required to follow the shortest distance from your work area to the external muster points as shown in the example here. There are evacuation plans and muster point inside the premises on each floor as well, which needs to be used when there are emergencies outside the building, such as flood, strong wind, and others. Please note these muster points in the maps provided in your respective work areas. As mentioned earlier, one must reach the internal muster points through the shortest route as shown in the example. Now that brings us to the final part of the video, which is how each one of us can contribute effectively towards the implementation of EMS. Firstly, we must understand the hazards and risk and environmental aspects and impacts that are associated with our work. Secondly, our good behavior and attitude towards safety and environment is also very important. Try your best to maintain it. Thirdly, we must all commit to safety and always practice the safety-first concept. Finally, we must always remember to report any incident, near miss, leakage or spillage of chemical or waste or any abnormal smoke release immediately to our superiors or EHS team members. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. Let's work together to commit towards safety and environment. If you have any comments or suggestions to improve this presentation, please feel free to provide us with your feedback by scanning this QR code and filling up the form provided. Here's wishing you all a safe and secured work environment at Fuji Electric Malaysia. This is Jasmine signing off. Bye.